Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. The story of modern love rarely follows a straight line. Sometimes it looks like late-night conversations, airport reunions, mismatched schedules, and a whole lot of people watching from the sidelines guessing what's really going on. And for Joan and Chuck, their love story has become exactly that. Part fairy tale, part long-distance adventure, and part fan-fueled mystery. From the moment they met, their connection felt effortless. Two people who found each other not in the loudest way, but in the most unexpected way. Quiet, surprising, and real. They didn't need dramatic moments or on-camera tension. Their story grew through calmness, laughter, and that gentle spark that makes everyone watching silently root for something good to happen. When they left together, happy, hopeful, and beautifully unsure of what the future might look like, fans celebrated like they had just watched a modern-day romance being written page by page. And for a while, everything seemed picture perfect. He lived in one state, she lived in another, and somehow they made the distance feel tiny, like two people simply sharing one long hallway instead of two different time zones. But with popularity comes curiosity, and with curiosity come rumors. It started with small things. A week with no joint photos, a video where Joan wasn't wearing the ring everyone expected to see, a caption that sounded a little too neutral. And just like that, the internet turned into a detective agency with millions of self-appointed investigators. People zoomed in on screenshots. They made theories longer than movie scripts. They created timelines, predictions, speculations. Everything except the simplest explanation: maybe two people in love are just living their life without updating social media every hour. Still, the buzz grew louder. Messages piled up, comments multiplied, fans whispered about breakups, heartbreak, endings. And the funniest part, while people online were falling apart, Joan and Chuck were apparently packing their bags for their next adventure together. Because after all the online chaos, she finally made her move. Quiet, simple, and extremely effective. She went online and casually asked for recommendations for New York City. Not a dramatic speech, not a long explanation, not even a hint of frustration. Just a calm little message saying she'd be spending an entire month in New York with Chuck. That one line was enough to silence the rumors faster than any official statement ever could. Because you don't plan a month-long getaway with someone you've supposedly ended things with. You don't prepare to share a tiny Manhattan kitchen, walk through crowded streets hand in hand, or fight over which Broadway show to watch if the relationship is falling apart. If anything, planning a whole month together in one of the busiest cities on earth is a sign of commitment, comfort, and an ongoing love that's still growing. And that's exactly what their story is: slow, steady, evolving love. Even when asked about wedding plans, Joan didn't hesitate to share what truly mattered. She explained with honesty and warmth that life was already full of family celebrations. One child had recently gotten married. Another wedding was coming up. And after all the planning, organizing, and emotional whirlwind that comes with being a mother of the bride or groom, maybe it was okay to pause before planning another ceremony. She reminded everyone that being happy together was already enough. She talked about traveling, creating memories, enjoying experiences, about loving someone in a way that didn't require rushing into the next big milestone. And honestly, who could argue with that? The sweetest relationships are often the ones where both people are not in a hurry, where they enjoy the season they're in, where they laugh easily, travel freely, and let everything unfold at its own pace. And that's exactly what Joan and Chuck have been doing. Just recently, they even took a magical trip with their families, a visit to the happiest place on earth. There's something heartwarming about grown adults acting like kids again, running from ride to ride, sharing snacks, laughing through parades, and posing for silly photos that may never make it online but will always stay in their memories. Trips like those show the truth behind the camera. They show two families blending, two futures aligning, and two hearts continuing to choose each other. But now, the real excitement is their upcoming month in New York City. Imagine it, the energy, the lights, the crowds, the restaurants, the tiny coffee shops where people sit shoulder to shoulder, the quiet walks in Central Park, the evenings spent exploring new places, and somewhere in the middle of all that noise, two people carving out a little bubble of love and simplicity. It's the perfect setting for a couple who somehow mastered the art of long-distance romance. A city big enough to explore endlessly, but small enough for love to feel close and warm. And knowing their style, they'll probably fill the month with inside jokes, playful arguments about subway routes, moments where they get lost on purpose, and memories they'll laugh about for years to come. Because that's the energy they carry, light, joyful, and slightly mischievous. Fans may speculate, the internet may analyze every photo, but the truth is always simpler than the theories. Joan and Chuck are happy. Not perfect, not constantly polished, just real, genuine, and happy. They're building their relationship at their own pace, far away from the rush, the pressure, and the noise. And sometimes that's the most beautiful kind of love, the kind that grows quietly, without needing constant announcements. And their story isn't about dramatic breakups or shocking twists. It's about two people choosing each other again and again, even when they live in separate places, even when schedules get complicated, even when the world expects an update. It's about slow mornings, shared adventures, and the kind of laughter that shows up when two people are simply comfortable together. And maybe that's why so many people root for them, because their love feels relatable, authentic, human. They don't pretend to be perfect. They don't rush toward a wedding just because people expect it. They don't make every moment social media ready. They live, they love, they travel, they choose peace, and they choose each other. And that is the story that keeps unfolding. As they prepare for their time in New York City, one thing is clear. This is a couple still writing new chapters, not closing old ones. Their adventure isn't ending. It's just taking place in a new city with new memories, new jokes, and new reasons to smile. And for everyone watching from the outside, wondering where their love story is heading, maybe it's time to stop predicting and start appreciating the beauty of watching two people simply fall in love in the most normal, extraordinary way. Because if there's one message their journey keeps giving the world, it's this: love doesn't have to be rushed. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be announced. It just has to be real. And their love, it's still very real. So, as their New York chapter begins, let the rumors settle. Let the fans breathe. Let the story unfold naturally. Because sometimes the happiest endings are the ones still in progress. And Joan and Chuck are right in the middle of theirs. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.